welcome to Spring Q's 2020 Booms. Here's our lineup for this year. We have 6 amazing educators from, I can say safely, from around the world. We have Brett here joining us 6 a.m. in Australia, which is amazing.
Yay, Brett!
But we are Abby. Well, I'm Abby.
And I'm Amanda.
And we have been your Q Boom coordinators this past year, kind of doing the behind the scenes work, and happy to put these 6 amazing educators on this virtual stage today. So a few notes before we get started.
Right. These are going to be 3-minute mic drops, like they always are, our 3-minute virtual mic drops this year. So super fast paced, and these guys are working really hard to get their amazing ideas shrunk down into just a couple minutes.
So here are some of the rules, knowing that we're being pretty flex and doing this in a different format this year. So speakers got 3 minutes to do their boom. They were allowed up to 9 slides, and in addition to that, their title slide. Well, we told them no video, no audio, but you know, things are going to happen the way they do. No control over that now. Oops. Uh-oh, and I have a very sensitive mouth. Okay, we are here. Go ahead, Amanda.
And just like we would do in real life, we plan to have an awesome time here at the virtual Booms. So we want our audience to interact as much as possible as you can with the speakers. Unfortunately, we're not live. We don't get to yell at the stage and root them on, but we have a chat box over here. We've got, that's right, silent signals, as we call them in 2nd grade. So lots of cheering, lots of clapping, and lots of chat box fun.
Here are some things you need to know. So I was talking to Josh earlier before we got started, and he's saying he's got all of this different energy, because 3-minute talks are really hard, even in the virtual space, especially for these boomers. They are packing in some personal stories, some personal lessons, and so anytime anyone talks about something that is meaningful to them, it can be a difficult talk to give. So we need your energy too, as much as you can, through the chat. Amanda she came prepared with a sign, but we will accept any form of energy. Except for the loud kind. Posted yesterday that we were going live with Booms today, and our fellow ex-boomer Lori Roberts reposted with her image here. So we will do our best to keep your mics muted. Please do the same. Use the chat for all of your comments. And wow. That's not what I meant to do. So if you hear something you like, you can let the room know. You can do the silent celebrations, or pop it in the chat. And like our previous booms, at the end of theirs, join in with them and say boom when the speaker finishes.
I've got my text copied and pasted and ready to go.
Okay, there's another tip from Amanda. So, are you ready to boom? Yeah. We've got our first
look at all the booms.
Boomers coming in. So up first today, starting us off, is Josh Harris out of Alisal Union School District. He's been vigorously working, so happy that he was able to join us. So he's going to get his slides up.
That means start sharing my screen?
Yes, please.
Tell me when to go.
Whenever you're ready.
The mic
Okay.
is yours.
Hello, everyone. My name is Josh Harris. I'm the Ed Tech Director for LSL Union School District in Salinas. And I also happen to be the Q Administrator of the Year this year. And for me, this boom almost didn't happen. I was going to be very clever and try and lure you to the dark side. Seductive the dark side is. Lure you. I was going to say that you can try to lead from the classroom or a TOSA position, but since you never have control of 3 important factors, your impact will always be small. I was going to tell you that on the dark side, we control these 3 things. We do these 3 things and have a broad impact on teachers and students through technology and PD. I was going to tell you all about the amazing things we provide teachers and kids because I stepped up, joined the dark side, and took control of budgets, built systems, and improved practice. But then things changed. On March 13, an emergency meeting was called in my district, and I was a voice in the room. Because for the last 3 years, from the dark side, I was using my budget to build systems and improve teacher practice. Over the last 15 days, I have to tell you, I have become radicalized. EdTech has become radicalized by quaranteaching. In the era of quaranteaching, some things like an EdTech department or comfort zones, not really an option anymore. Because I went to the dark side, I was able to use my budget and build an amazing team of EdTech Jedis who are supporting teachers and administrators all over the district right now. Because I went to the dark side, I've been using my budget to pay teachers to get Google and Seesaw certified. And I'm happy to tell you, at least half of my teachers are level 1 certified going into this crisis. And because so many of them have been using the free version of Seesaw, we pay for Seesaw for schools for everyone. And because I went to the dark side to build systems, every fall in my school district, we do our own EdTech conference. 90% of those sessions are provided by our own people. But what I'm most proud of is this, my EdTech army of amazing Jedi. These EdTech liaisons, 17 teachers who, when this crisis happened, sprang into action, supporting their kids and supporting their fellow teachers while trying to figure out distance learning at the same time. So now I want to ask you a question. I want you to think about how this was handled where you work. And I want to ask you, is the classroom really still the best place for you? Are you able to control budgets from there? Are you able to build systems from there? Are you able to improve practice? And if you think you couldn't do this as an administrator, then you underestimate the power of the dark side. And we want you to join us on the dark side. And it might feel lonely at first, but I promise you, this is my EdTech family. We have a whole army of EdTech Sith lords and ladies who came together to support each other and built and did amazing things. So I want you to join us as we blow up the status quo, blow up gradualism, and blow up the spirit of I can't or our kids can't, because that doesn't exist anymore. If you have the skills, and I mean more than just the EdTech skills, and you have a vision and you know that you need to be a voice in the room the next time something like this happens, and it will, then you must answer the call. You must join the dark side. Boom!
I'm unmuted. That was awesome. Thank you, Josh, for sharing your story. Did you write that this past week?
I wrote that all in the last 12 hours.
All in the last 12 hours. Awesome. That's amazing. That is the Alisal and the Q spirit. Awesome. That was a great way to start us off. Our second boom of the day is Nooper. So Nooper, give you a moment to share your screen. Yeah, congrats, Josh, on being was it the technology leader or administrator of the year?
Yeah, it was the admin of the year.
It's amazing. Very, very well deserved.
Really a team win for my department, I have to say.
Every leader leads a great team. So up next is Nooper. Another Q winner, Emerging Teacher of the Year for Q 2020. Nooper Sethi is going to do another boom for us. She is up next. We are excited to hear your message and your story. So whenever you're ready, you can get us started again.
So I have to be honest that I'm extremely nervous given the fantastic QBoom crew and the amazing audience that we have today. So if everybody can make a mute virtual noise and it'll give me a boost. So anything with the body. Thank you. And so unlike Josh, I've been working on this presentation for some time and a couple of times. And what it is when I got accepted, it's just a bunch of questions that I've asked myself. And it's about a word. The word that I avoid using, not because what it means, it is simply hard to pronounce for this curry Indian. The word is this. Brené Brown defines vulnerability as uncertainty, emotional exposure, and shame. I'm told I do all three. Is that why I made it here? Or am I an addict or a freak? Travel 8,000 miles into an uncertain time. The year was 2002, far away from the comfort of my home. The lack of color made me feel like an outsider. Having no sense of belonging, the longing for home grew. Am I an Indian or an American? What is true? Give me a moment, 1 second. Sorry. For some reason. I failed in my graduate class. I was told the assignment were not done in an American way. Began my struggle for worthiness. I felt my accent brought me shame. So fearful to talk to a non-Indian. I was tired to hear, oh, you meant to say that? Despite that, I keep showing up like this, having no control of the outcome, not knowing what will I become. Not wearing an armor to protect myself from being vulnerable. I cannot say that word, guys. Just new to teaching, felt successful, but handed a pink slip. Stripping my confidence, self-esteem, doubt seeped in. Should I be teaching at all? My heart was broken by this fall. Emotional exposure and shame. Not knowing whom to blame. I'm sorry, was I becoming failure immune? Girls in sports were kept at a distance. Should they stay at home? No, I didn't prepare for this. Should they stay at home, mom of two, take the path of least resistance? Or should I test my limits? What if the only sport I knew was yoga and cricket? The sport of triathlon was unknown, a profound experience of completing a half Ironman. I am an addict. I crave it. Jitters when I don't take it. A 7-letter word starting with a vowel. No, it's not this. It's running into the darkness, AKA the unknown, the dark side. Because she wouldn't be here if it wasn't for this vulnerability, uncertainty, shame, and risk. Why do I reminisce? I learned few life lessons. You have to catch the second wind to get to the finish line of your dream. Success awaits for you just right after the failure. Failure is your friend. It is doing you a huge favor. For us to change students' trajectory, we have to change our own trajectory. So do a litmus test. If the pH level of certainty is high, run towards uncertainty. Failure is an option, stagnation is not. How do you become more vulnerable? Just dive into the unknown and boom.
That was awesome. Thank you. I love that. Melissa said, looks like the SBQ glasses. Yeah. All right. That was amazing. Next up in our speaker lineup is Jonathan Natividad. So Jonathan, you want to take over the screen?
Yeah, you got me. Give me a second.
All right.
And here we go.
Got a couple SBQers representing today. How exciting.
We're trying.
Here we go.
Let's see. Oops. Are we good? All right, my name's Jonathan Natividad. I'm a fourth year administrator. So this takes along the vein of what Josh and Nipur were saying. I got to stand up because I'm so excited, and regardless I'm not there, I got this nervous energy. I just want to share this with you guys. A few years ago, 4 years ago, I stepped on stage, had 5 minutes, I got 3 today. But my whole life, I've been this jack of all trades and master of none. Whether it's been a small shop owner, a Jollibee fast food manager, a Target, you know. And when I jumped to education, this was my calling. This is my thing. And as Josh said, you know, I felt that vibe where I wanted to do better than just my classroom kids. And I stepped out of the classroom to become a vice principal. Initially, I wanted to be like Robert Irvine, doing ed tech coaching, classroom impossible, but due to collective bargaining agreements, that didn't go that route. This year, we had to think about giving outrageous love to students at our school. But before you even do that, you know, I got this from Hamish Brewer, you know, bringing the word love into everyday vocabulary. I had to go through a process first. And like the person saying, that vulnerability, you know, fear. We have these fears about speaking in front of kids, speaking in front of adults, having courageous conversations, all the difficult things that we go through. And I had these pair of kicks I brought through here because I put in over 7,000 to 10,000 steps a day at my site. And every single day, I acknowledge what those fears are, those biases are, but I got to take those steps forward, you know. And along the way, being a third-year principal, I felt that this is that third-year, you know, NFL wide receiver type. My staff's ready to go. We were doing it because I did it wrong a lot first. This is what we're trying to do, to give that love. But that first year principal, I was like, yeah, we're gonna bring that cute rock star pedagogy in. We'll substitute all these things in. We'll make it happen. Wrong, epic fail. I didn't didn't validate a lot of stuff our kids are coming to school with, the trauma. And that was the need for, you know, slowing your roll. Making sure we breathe through situations, taking into account each kid as they come to us and not just trying to fit, you know, one size fits all deal. And that was a lot of learning I had, advocating for counselors, other sources at school. But this year, it's been about this. I have put myself out there. I have been through the difficult things, and it's gotten me back to this. Keep lifting. I'm in my garage right now. I got my bench behind me. And this is what I do because at the end of the day, it's been Q, SVQ, helping me reach out to awesome educators. Roni Habib, EQ Schools with a mindfulness tip, not for students and adults. You know, AXA with Reach One Alliance, he and Kevin Bracey, giving that, you know, each one reach one. You do that every single day. Bringing the bridge between administrators and teachers with my instructional leadership core, taking into account, you know, privilege, biases, and making those changes that you need to happen. You know, as Josh said, you know, you got to take that step into the dark side. As a person, you got to be vulnerable. And that's just my message to you. You know, haters going to hate. Keep lifting. And in the spirit of things, is my 4 bars. So, you know, each and every day, I'm getting stronger. I will slow my roll when the day seems to get longer. I'll keep living and make use of my time to represent to the fullest with that positive state of mind. One love from the heart to you. Peace out. Boom.
Yay. Thank you, Jonathan. That was amazing. Check out the chat box now. Got all sorts of people. Thank you for keeping the energy in the audience out there. And this is a different format, so I love all the energy out there in the audience. All the chat boxes are going. It's amazing. All right.
Thanks, Josh. Thanks, Nipur. You guys are great to set me up for that. You guys are rock.
All right. Next up is Brett Salakis from, oh my gosh, so far away. Thank you for joining us, Brett.
Hey, good to be here. Good to be here. Let me share my screen. Yes, quite far away. Actually, before I do share my screen, I went and got, for Nepal, we can talk cricket a little bit later on. Yeah. I went and got my cricket bat out for you. We can maybe teach these Americans about how a real sport works, right? This is actually my son's, and just for some cultural context, we had about 2 weeks ago, he got a very nice cherry right in the middle of his bat. That's very prestigious for a young lad to be able to get. Let me share my screen and I'll get into why I'm actually here. Okay. Oop. You guys can see my screen all right now? All right. Very good. So, yeah, my name is Brett Salakis. I'm coming from the other side of the world. It's just clocked over 6 a.m. here, so it's a little bit dark. Sunday morning is looking pretty nice. The sun is just starting to peek out. I can see the bright lights just edging through the sky. So my greatest fear this morning was that my voice was going to be really croaky when I spoke because I haven't really said many words yet today. So we'll see how we go. All right. I just wanted to really start off with my favorite Maria Montessori quote, because I'm looking at the situation that around the world all teachers are dealing with. The greatest sign of success for a teacher is to be able to say the children are now working as if I did not exist. The teacher is not in the room. We are all dealing with that right now. The teacher is not physically present. So how can we have that success and really allow our students to thrive, allow them to learn, allow them to grow, but not physically be there? So how do we set up that pedagogy? How do we set up that practice? Well, one of the really cool pedagogical frameworks that I like, or methodologies that I like, is this concept of the digital escape room. A few years ago, I was really inspired by a few friends who took me off to some different escape rooms, and we were able to have a lot of fun. And then the digital breakout edu became a really cool thing, and I thought, you know what, there's got to be a way to digitize this type of experience. So I spoke to a friend of mine, Andrea Tolley, so a big shout out to Andrea, an American educator, and she helped me with OneNote, and we created a digital escape room with OneNote. So effectively, all you need to do is actually have your page set up, have different tabs. Now, the beauty of this type of method, it doesn't really need any particular platform. Whether you're a Google user or whatever sort of tool you use to share documents online with your students, as long as you're able to password protect each page, you can use this digital escape room experience, because you set up your tabs, you set up your pages, password protect each one, except the first. Explain the task, explain what the learning intentions are, have that similar pedagogy that we would normally show in a live classroom, and give the students a task. When they complete that first task, maybe there's a question there, maybe there's a challenge that they have to do. The answer to that task actually is the password for the next tab. So they actually have to work through that work, get that answer, and then maybe open up the next tab. Now you can do this, you can paste this a lot of different ways. So you can have individual activities like comprehension things. Maybe they have to, just the first letter of each answer gives you the correct password to open up a different section. Or you can have a whole bunch of activities in one page, let the students actually work that at their own pace, and then they have to email over to you, okay, this is what I've done, like a digital artifact. Okay, here's my video that I've created, here's this that I've created, here's that I've created. You then, as the teacher, get to check, is that learning at the quality that you want? Is it actually going, is it at a standard that you would accept? Is it what you want your students to be able to do? And if it meets your level of criteria, so you're actually making sure you get that quality of student work, bang, you can email them the password that then unlocks the next page. So you're giving that little student independence. You're letting students work at their pace, at their level, and then you're checking in to make sure the quality of work is bang on. You are being able to moderate what is good enough. And if it's not good enough, you can send it back and say, look, I like what you've done for task 1, task 2, task 4, but task 3 there, I need you to work on your whatever it is that you need them to work on. I created a how-to video for this session. So if you have a look at this, if you go to this link, salakis.me/remote learning, I've actually got a little video of how to actually build these virtual escape rooms. So you can make your own digital escape room, virtual escape room. I think it's especially now when we talk about what does digital pedagogy look like, I think this is a really great way in any subject of really a huge age range that we can moderate the pace, ensure that deep learning, and then go on to have a really great experience. So boom, that is my idea, digital escape rooms. I hope you like it.
Brett, you can drop the cricket bat.
Arrgh. There you go. Did I hit that for a 6?
Yeah, yeah.
And you, the only person in the room who got that reference.
I understand that, yeah. We'll talk cricket later.
Thank you, Brett. That was amazing. All right. Next up, we have Miss Lisa Moe. Lisa, you want to take over the screen?
Absolutely. All right. So, hi guys, I'm so excited. I can't even believe that this is still happening. You know, I think we were all pretty bummed out when everything that has gone on in the world has happened. Not sure how this would work out, but we're here. I'm excited. The energy's here, and let's get going. So originally, my topic was going to be about preparing our students to be not only college bound, but Q bound. And in our current climate, we have learned the importance of being Q bound, aka quarantine bound. So in good faith, let's get going and preparing our students today, because you never know when the future presents itself. From day one, my students are presented with the motto of yes, I can. And one thing I cannot emphasize enough is that when it comes to student learning and being prepared for the future and using technology, you have to build the culture within the classroom. It is so much more than displaying the positive posters from Scholastic. It's establishing a mindset and culture of confidence and self-motivation within your students and yourself. Teacher pay teachers and Pinterest are great for creative ideas, but those are products made by others' creativity. You get creative. Transform your room. Get your students to dress the role. Show them how to use technology to be their own creators outside the classroom. Step outside of your own comfort zone and innovate. You have it in you. Be an innovator. Go beyond the surface level of technology integration. I'm talking Flipgrid challenges, coding book reports, historical podcasts, student-led gamification, math tutorials as quick checks, room transformations, presentations through different G Suite and Microsoft tools, essential question Shark Tank, digital storytelling, Zumba classes. These are all things that I've been doing in my classroom all year that is playing a role right now. In my class, we do something I call teach yourself, and we utilize it across the standards. To build that inner leader within your students, get them on Flipgrid, have them share their voice and teach something that they're already experts at. We learned how to start Roblox accounts and do handstands and Rubik's Cubes and draw and sing and whatever. Once that confidence is established, presenting and teaching in other areas through tech will be a piece of cake for your students. When it comes to Q, we know the importance of collaboration. Set your expectations, but allow them to work together in and outside the classroom. In our climate right now, my students have taken the lead in their online learning, and together have come up with projects to complete together while they're apart. So, as I leave you, I want to leave you with this thought. Even a little bit of tech integration can make a difference. So while you're growing our leaders to tomorrow, you will find that they are already ready today. Boom!
Yeah, thank you, Lisa. All of those messages are so amazing. I just wanted to quote so much of that in the chat. There's a lot of hashtagging of the things that you were saying. I love your last message of your students are ready today. We're not making leaders of tomorrow. We're making leaders of today. So awesome job on this boom. Love feeling your energy.
Thank you.
And to round us out today, our final boom of the day is Ike Ramos out of LA and Flocabulary. So Ike, go ahead and share your screen, and whenever you're ready, finish us off.
All right, start the clock. Hi, everybody. My name is Ike Ramos. Let me stop that. Tech issue already. All right. Again, my name is Ike Ramos. I'm a former teacher and principal, K through 12 experience. While I was a principal, I became one of the Flocabulary rappers. So I was a hip hop artist before my career as an educator. And then now I'm currently the director of district partnerships at Nearpod and Flocabulary. So superintendents say that student engagement is a measurement of public school success. Any of us who have stood in front of kids know how important that is. This is a Gallup survey over 2,000 superintendents, and literally almost 100% said it's a priority for them. The disconnect is that when we ask students, by 9th grade, almost 70% of students say they're not engaged with the curriculum and with the educational experience. So what that tells me is that we're experiencing an engagement gap. I was gonna do this same presentation at Spring Q in person in Palm Springs, but I think it's even more relevant now. Kind of mirroring some of the themes that the rest of you mentioned, we're really gonna have to come together and get creative and figure out ways to keep learning rigorous, relevant, and continue to nurture relationships with our kids. So hopefully to inspire you guys on that path, I'm gonna perform a little song for you guys on student engagement. So I'm gonna be booming right here with my speaker. And I'm gonna do verse 1 over the beat. You don't have to give feedback. I'm not sure how it's gonna sound. We're gonna try it. Verse 2, I'll do it a cappella. And so this right here is an old soulful song from the 70s. I chopped it up and made something brand new and remixed it. And that's my challenge to you guys is we gotta take education as we know it. And now by force, due to the quarantine, we're gonna have to remix it for the benefit of our kids. All right, you guys ready? First of all, I commend you. Every day you serve food for thought from your menu. If anybody tries to talk down, I defend you. You're the reason kids reach the levels they ascend to. Hardest job in the world, you're like a surgeon operating on the mind. Heart and soul for certain. The whole person, or should I say the whole child? That's a fact. You leave behind no child. Don't want to preach to the choir or congregation, but the data shows the crisis across the nation. Student engagement is looking low. We shouldn't throw the towel in, just see it as room to grow. The competition's real. Social media, cell phones, hormones, who's famous and well known. Poverty, a man at a house cause no one else home. But what can we do between the bell tones? Cause I never met a kid that didn't want to read, didn't want to learn, didn't want to succeed. If you listen close, they're telling us what they need. If it's real and relevant, then they'll follow our lead. Cause I never met a kid that didn't want to read, didn't want to learn, didn't want to succeed. If you listen close, we have to capture their heart first, their passion, reflect their interest in culture for this to happen. After that, neurons fire just like a dragon, and that curious kid will focus like a cannon. See, if we can engage like a fiance, we might hold their attention like a Beyonce. The more engaged, the more persistent, the more committed, the more likely success can be predicted. And that's research, all facts, no cap. We can't stop till there's no gap, like it's so packed. Achievement for everybody, that's equity. Educators, we got the recipe, that's our specialty. Let's leverage the arts and technology, culturally relevant pedagogy, philosophy. Diversity is higher than ever, no time's better to be a trendsetter, clever and band together, because I never met a kid that didn't want to read. Boom!
That was amazing.
Oh my goodness.
What a special set of booms. Like, I cannot believe how special today was. I am going to be a little risky right now and just unmute everyone. Is that crazy?
Yay! Do it!
Yes, everyone join in. Yes, awesome. At the count of 3, let's all boom. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Boom.
Baby.
That was amazing.
That was
I'm
so
gonna mute.
impressive.
Yeah. I'm gonna mute you all again. So let's give another silent shout out to all of our boomers for the day. Josh, Nooper, Jonathan, Brett, Lisa, and Ike, you did an amazing job. We threw in these last slides to show you that Q has made this possible due to all of these sponsors. I'm gonna get them really fast. And we are so excited that you were able to join us today. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your conference experience. Amanda, you want to say anything to
I
finish
just want
us
to thank
off?
everyone for just shifting at the last minute and taking everything online and taking a risk for us. And I was watching people in the chat just saying this is like their favorite session at Spring Q. It's always my favorite session, and I love that even virtually it was still just so much fun and so high energy. So thank you everyone for all your hard work, and thanks to everyone that came out and joined us live. This is an amazing group too.
No, this is amazing. This session was recorded, so look for it wherever they're posting all of the recorded sessions. And have an excellent Saturday and even better Sunday. And for you, Brett, an excellent Sunday and an excellent Monday.
Bye everyone. Thank you.
Bye everyone.
Bye.